I personally thought Pep Guardiola had peaked. And when I say that, I don't mean bad, could still be amazing. I just mean not treble winning Pep, not domestic quad winning Pep, not Centurions Pep, you know, as in like, calm the ruddy heck down, Guardiola. You're getting on now. You know, the times, they are a-changing in the Prem. You've got all these background charges and controversies, and maybe it's just time to not be as good anymore. That's at least what I was hoping, and of course they slapped Juventus 5-2 in the Club World Cup yesterday. Look, Juve looked a little bit resurgent for a while, but they were absolutely dominated by Pep Guardiola's latest iteration of Man City. They look like Ryan Aït-Nouri down the left-hand side. They finally got a left-back playing left-back, which actually looks like it makes the likes of Jeremy Doku better, the left winger. Savinho's doing bits again. They got Marmoush, Haaland, and all them, man. Even when Ederson's chucking one in the opposition for the opposition to score, they're seemingly very good. Oh yeah, Rodri's back. And of course, Reinders, the new man, looks really good in midfield. You've even got players like Ryan Cherki joining and settling in. Revelations from last season like Nico O'Reilly. Even Gundogan looks like he's remembering how to play football, as is young Phil Foden. And of course, unsurprisingly, you know, Erling Haaland got a goal. Time to talk about it though. Welcome back to Football Yannick, daily content here on the channel, of course. Should you enjoy my daily content here on Football Yannick, why not join in the fun, mate? Like and subscribe. We are en route very much to I say 20,000 subs. We need to hit 19,000 first, but with the fact that we're on 18.3-ish, it's an amazing achievement for me personally. Of course, I've got another big Chelsea channel, but I really enjoy doing this. This is a passion project for me, and you guys seem to enjoy it as well. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Look, let's talk about Man City then. This is how they lined up against Juventus yesterday, and it is the Club World Cup. I see some people are calling it pre-season stuff. Some are really taking it seriously because you play against big teams, you earn a lot of money, the trophy looks nice, and you get to play teams you'd never usually play, you know, most notably South American teams that are very passionate and bring good support. Now, Juventus, you'd have to say, not a vintage Juventus, looking at this team. Vlahovic up top. The young lad who came off the bench, Yildiz, the attacking winger, he's very exciting. But generally, not their best team. But yeah, look at this. Marmoush, obviously, he's very, second strikery often, but he's been deputising as a sort of out-and-out centre-forward. You know, Reinders, Bernardo Silva and Rodri, that's a classic midfield. Even if Bernardo Silva's not at the peak of his powers, you know, you swap him for Ryan Cherki, and once he's sort of acclimatised and settled in. I've been really underwhelmed by Savinho, actually. I know he's demonstrated skill and ability, but Man City fans seem to say he's a really great player. I think he only scored this is his third goal for Manchester City in all comps. Correct me if I'm wrong. I seem to remember the DAZN commentary team saying that, and I was thinking, ruddy heck. I'm going to double check this because he I think he cost significant money. He came from, how much did he score last season? He got 8 assists, which is significant. Yeah, but he got 1 Premier League goal in 1,800 minutes, which for a Man City forward is, of course, pretty disastrous. And he got a Champions League goal. So, yeah, that is his third goal this season in, let's just try and remove his Copa America minutes, which is 148. Yeah, 2,600 minutes, 3 goals. For, again, a Man City forward, very poor indeed. But he's got a goal and an assist in 2 appearances in the Club World Cup. But I think production-wise, he's been underwhelming. Yes, so even Jeremy Doku, I think, didn't score many. I think he might have got 3 Premier League goals last season as well. So both demonstrating what they can do. Savinho's technical ability, Doku's in crazy dribbling 1v1 explosivity, but not really getting the numbers. But I do think this brother, Ryan Aït-Nouri, one of the 2 new Ryans signed for Man City, is going to be a huge difference maker. And then Rodri returning. He's, of course, the reigning Ballon d'Or holder. And, yeah, man, they absolutely dominated Juventus. Yeah, and this is, again, a Juventus that's sacked Motta, that's supposed to be, a little bit rejuvenated. 24 shots to 5 big chances, 5 goals scored, ladies and gentlemen. The Haaland goal was pretty funny. I think they're a couple of howlers, Juventus, in terms of a couple of the goals. But yeah, the Haaland finish was a sort of like, he was sort of embarrassed to celebrate because he was in the perfect place for a tap in and he got his feet wrong and it still just sort of hit his feet and go in. But if there's one thing that Man City fans won't be worrying about long term, it's Erling Haaland's ability to score goals for them. Yeah, and like I said, these players coming off the bench, all good. They've done the rebuild basically, Man City, haven't they? They've essentially done it. They started in January, they got a few players then, and essentially now they seemingly good to go. And it's not just the fact how Guardiola is like, right, give me the money, let's rebuild this team. We probably left it a year too late. The Kevin De Bruyne's and some other dead man that needed to go and be refreshed. They've done it now. Man City fans will be very, very excited. And I wonder how pertinent it is that they got Pep Lijnders in. So it's now Pep squared on the Man City bench. Of course, he was the number 2 for Liverpool, Klopp's Liverpool. He was really, really highly regarded. The Scousers, much like Trent going to Real Madrid, they've been upset with Pep Lijnders going to Man City. I read somewhere, I was told that apparently Pep Lijnders, that is, asked for Jurgen Klopp's blessing. Like, do you mind? Would it be legacy tainting? How would you feel if I went to go work with Guardiola? And I think Klopp's like, whatever, bro, do what you want now. He's living his best life, Klopp, and he's probably like, look, just go be a coach. Go, I'm not there anymore, and Arne Slot's got his own thing going on. You're not there. Why not? I think that could be a huge boon to Guardiola's attack on the Premier League, because not only is Pep Lijnders a really good, well-respected coach, of course he went off on his own, didn't really work, but he is a really respected mind. There's a few examples like that. Joe Edwards, of course, wants with Chelsea. A lot of people really want him. Anthony Barry, who was at Chelsea as well. Like, Tuchel's taken all over the gaff to Bayern and now England. He was also with the Belgium national team, the Portuguese national team. So there's a few young number 2s or assistant coaches that are really highly rated that make the first team coaches a lot better. And you'd have to say Pep Lijnders is one of those. So with the revitalization, they seem good again with the new personnel, the new players playing well, players essentially, Gundogan looking like a good footballer again, Rodri being reintegrated, Savinho offering productivity, Doku looking like he's better due to the introduction of Ryan Aït-Nouri at left back. Is he the first conventional left back since Benjamin Mendy? Or Benjamin Mendy? Because they've been playing all sorts of players there, and of course most lately Joško Gvardiol. It is worrying, I must say. I don't know if they're done in the transfer window yet, but it looks like they've come back with a vengeance. Finishing a mere 3rd place in the Premier League was an awful season for them, so now they are good to go. Again, customary reference to the point that the charges hasn't been released yet, but you must say, they must think they're safe. Because everyone's joining, high-profile assistant coaches, superstar players from all around Europe. Guardiola reinventing, revitalizing Man City. They are presumably totally fine. That's what one has to assume at this point. They might be a little bit frustrated that they didn't wait a little bit longer to buy Ryan Cherki. Of course, they wanted him for the Club World Cup, but Lyon have been relegated. I was considering doing a video on it. I may still do it. And a lot of their players are going on a fire sale, including, we're assuming that at this point, but including the likes of highly rated Malik Fofana, the young winger that Chelsea have looked at, and indeed others, that there's perceived relegation clauses in all their contracts. And I think Malik Fofana's top of the tree in terms of desired player. That would have been behind Ryan Cherki. So I think they got 30-40 million for Ryan Cherki, which is still a great deal, but maybe that could have been halved had they'd wait a few more weeks. But you can't bank on Lyon getting relegated to Ligue 2, and that is a tricky situation. So yeah, I do genuinely think Man City have pulled off an absolute, masterclass here in their revitalization. And rival fans, much like Liverpool, like I said in yesterday's video, should be worried. But as always, I want to see what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please leave them. I'm very keen to hear them. Thank you for dropping a like on this video. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for giving me your thoughts. Enjoy the football, my friend. See you back here soon. Peace.